What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unearthly Duo. I'm Jerome.
I'm Nick.
And today we're talking about Brightburn, the evil Superman. So first we'll do spoiler-free like we normally do, and that probably won't be too long, and then we'll get into deep spoilers.
Okay.
But spoiler-free, what were your thoughts on the movie?
I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was different.
Yeah, I agree with you. Would you want to see more from this movie? I would totally see sequels.
They set it up. It could be a new franchise.
Yeah, it could. What's funny is I didn't realize this was a Sony movie. So then as it started...
Until in the beginning when it popped up and goes, Sony.
It said Sony, and then it showed another company and said a Sony company, and then it showed another company and said a Sony company, and I was like, I get it. Sony, you made this movie.
But I think I stopped paying attention to that.
But I was like, oh, this could be like they're kind of struggling. They did good with Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, but most of their superhero shit kind of sucked. I was like, oh, this could be a cool like new spin on a superhero movie for them. Super villain, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely not a hero.
But I thought that was pretty cool. I'm really interested in what they're gonna do next. I thought the horror in it was okay, but like, I thought it was good enough.
Yeah.
My only dig at the movie is I don't think it has a lot of rewatchability. Because like it's an interesting story and like it was really cool. I really liked it this time. But like there wasn't like some really cool scenes that I was like, oh, when I rewatch it, I'll really enjoy this part.
Well, you said it was spoiler free, so I don't want to like say it. But
There's
two.
There's like two really good scenes, like stuff like that. But I mean, like action wise and like horror wise, isn't really like super scary parts. It's one of those movies where it's really interesting the entire time. But then afterwards, like once you know everything, I was like, oh, well, I don't think it'll be as enjoyable the second time.
Oh, maybe I didn't even think of it.
I usually think of that. Usually because I hate like doing stuff again, video games and all that. But so I was like.
Yeah,
like Mad Max that's not but that's a good movie you can rewatch again and again and again, and it's really enjoyable afterwards and stuff like that.
Like Snatch
and like Avengers and stuff like that. Like it's really good.
See, I guess that just depends.
But I also think that's most horror movies, unless it's like
I was gonna say because I don't.
Depending on the horror movie, it is hard to rewatch.
I don't really like horror movies. So to me, like, none of them are rewatchable because, like, once it scares you, like, okay, now it's going to say boo here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at no point did I think, oh, this is good, but it won't be rewatchable. But I just wasn't thinking of that.
Oh,
either.
yeah, I usually do. Let me think. I thought the kid in it did a great job.
Yeah, I thought
he was
really
very creepy. And if I saw him in real life, I might shit my pants.
He also was really good at looking innocent also.
Yeah. Even too, like, because there's parts where he's lying and, like, he even gets called out for it and stuff. But you're like, well, that's actually, like, yeah, I kind of feel bad for him there in a little, like, even though he just, like, killed somebody, I kind of feel bad for him.
How about when they're like, hey, your uncle's dead, and he's like, okay. And you're like, dude, fucking
he's like, I feel like you want me to cry?
Yeah, it's like, oh, my God.
But I think we should probably jump into the spoilers, because there's not a lot to say about this movie without spoiling it. But I really enjoyed it. I recommend going to see it if you like horror movies or even if you like superhero movies. I think you'll enjoy it either way. Because it doesn't really lean too much into either or,
No, yeah, I agree with that.
But I definitely recommend going and seeing it. But all right, now we're going to spoilers. So if you haven't seen Brightburn, get the hell out of here, then come back. I actually didn't expect that he was going to kill his mom in the end. I thought she might be the one to survive.
I was kind of rooting for them to be okay with it. Like, I don't know how, like, because she was on his side the whole time.
Yeah.
And then when she got that piece, I'm like, oh, don't try to kill him because you're not going to be able to kill him. And then
I wondered that too. And at first too, when she's doing it and she's talking, I was like, is it going to be cliche? She ends up killing him, and then she's like, they have like a moment, and then he catches it and he's like, what the fuck, bitch? And like flies her up in the air and just drops her. I was like, oh, wow, okay. That's cool.
Whereas I did want him to kill his dad right away.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, I agree with you. But like as the dad's saying stuff, I was like, well, the dad's right.
Oh no, the dad was completely right. Yeah.
But I don't agree with you. Like it was weird. And then like he takes him out, and like you lean over to me in the theater, like, is he gonna try to kill son? And I was like, I hope not for his sake.
Yeah,
because that's not gonna work. And it's funny, they get it's a deer print, and they're walking over to all this stuff, and then the dad shoots him. He's boom. He's like, you just fucking try to shoot me?
Yeah.
And then just that was I really did like the special effects in the movie were really good with and very gruesome.
It was a very gruesome movie.
Like when Badger gets killed and his jaw drops and all that.
And he held it up. Oh.
Yeah, and the dad laser, and you just see the lasers like blow up through the back of his head.
But I got news for you. Those were not the worst things.
What was the worst thing for you?
the fucking piece of glass in the chick's eye.
Oh yeah, that part's in the trailer, so I was kind of over that at this point.
Not that gruesomely.
Yeah, it was a little more, and like I think they even took out some of the blood that was all pouring like as she's running around.
Yeah, and then she couldn't. It was kind of cool because she couldn't see him.
Yeah, and they kept cutting to her point of view.
Yeah,
I like that.
but like it took her too long to pull that out. It was fucking gross.
There's one guy I don't know if you heard after she pulls it out, goes, "Oh, you can hear him like." Like he was like,
oh really?
He's like trying not to throw up or
I
something.
didn't hear
Like he
that.
like started gagging.
That's pretty cool. I liked it a lot. I liked the way how they set up. That really, if this movie does good, which we have no idea how it's doing.
I got a couple. We do a segment on here where we're gonna. We were supposed to do it last week. I forgot. We read bad reviews because we usually we usually blow the movies. So I thought it'd be cool to get some bad reviews for it on here. But I did have a little bit of
the movies.
Usually we really like the movies. We're not usually negative on them.
Yeah, oh, you mean like oral sex?
Yeah,
I thought you. I didn't know what you meant.
that's what blow means. But I had a little bit of trouble finding some bad reviews on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
like it was mostly like 3 to 5.
I do feel like people are gonna go just because James Gunn is involved.
Yeah, and I think
Talk about blowing people. That's what people like to blow him. Quite
Yeah,
a bit.
I'm not positive. I could be wrong. I think it's his brother and his cousin that did that like wrote it and then he produced it.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong with you. But it was like him and his family that made it.
It was really. What I liked about it the most is that it was different. There's nothing out there like that, right?
Yeah.
That's what I like when you showed me the trailer. You're like, I don't know how they got away with this, but
I really don't. And they try to say it's not Superman, but it is. It came down in a pod, landed in a farm. They live in Kansas. Yeah. Even the truck looks like Mom and Pa Kent's truck. Like it's like a blue pickup truck.
He's fucking Lois Lane.
He did have kind of a Lois Lane. He broke her arm a little bit and was kind of a dick to her and scared the shit out of her.
She deserved it. She let him fucking fall. I was on his side the whole time.
I thought that girl's a really good actress too, the little girl.
Oh,
but when she was scared in bed and she's like, hey, "My mom told me I'm not supposed to talk to you," and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna deal with that."
I was like,
your mom's dead now.
Yeah.
So was that her? That was her in the bottom, right? Like when the mom went to his pod and like she was
you couldn't tell her one eye bled out.
Well, she was all fucked up, and I couldn't tell. And they said like, "Oh, it was Karen down there or whatever," but I didn't remember her name.
I love the fact how, like, so all that's kind of like taken away because of the airplane crash.
And he like framed the bodies too. Like oh, looked like the parents died in the plane crash too.
Yeah, and then
I think I called it a crane crash.
And then he's just eating a cookie.
Yeah, so what's funny, that part's in the trailer.
Oh, is it?
Like the plane crash and him eating the cookie. And I like most of the parts of the movie, I was like, okay, I usually kind of like, oh, this can't happen yet because it hasn't like in the trailer and all that. And then he sees the plane in the end, and I go, oh, that's cool. And then is it gonna end like you don't know if he destroyed the plane or not? And then it just has the wreckage all over. And I was like, oh yeah, this is how the trailer like it starts that way. That. And he's eating it. It was like that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. I was pleasantly surprised. I was expecting it. I was expecting to like it, and I was expecting it to be good. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you can be let down if you're expecting something like that. But it held up, and I was glad we saw it. Yeah.
So at the movie ends, he's the plane crash and all that, Brightburn, and then we see Michael Rooker talking about he's destroying blah blah, and they cut to a bunch of footage. He like destroys a giant building. I believe he goes like to different places in the world. I don't think it was all in Kansas, but I
think it was in Kansas. Actually,
it was only Kansas for him
because it said. Straighten object in Brightburn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, who cares?
So they show him, and then they cut to he's got half sea creature, half human, or whatever, and like it's an Aquaman. Then they have a Wonder Woman take care of it, and then they show like all 6 on the screen, and then there's a question mark for 1. So I wonder what that'll be. But it looks like basically they have an Aquaman, a Superman, a Wonder Woman, maybe a Batman or a Flash. Couldn't tell. And there's something else in the middle that we couldn't tell either. But that's pretty cool. So they're setting up an evil Justice League movie next. I'm assuming so, unless they're gonna like. Do an Aquaman one next, and because they could do like Creature from the Black Lagoon type thing, but it's Aquaman,
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting. Like, would they all be kids? Like, would they be? You know what I mean?
Well, the picture they had, which it was just like a whatever picture, looked like an adult for the Aquaman. Like all the other ones looked like adults.
They did.
But that could have just been mock-ups because like the mystery figure in the sky, they don't know if that's a kid. They have no idea.
Yeah, totally.
Do you think? Because I thought of this. Do you think them having him on the computer screen with Michael Rooker, like that's how they revealed his universe, was a nod and kind of like poking fun at Batman v Superman when they open up the computer and they're like, oh look, it's a Flash and an Aquaman, and like they had all their symbols on the screen. Do you think that was a little?
I mean, it reminded me of that totally.
That's the first thing I thought of too. I was like, oh, they're making fun of that.
But it also reminded me, as like, oh, so are they going to try to make this Iron Man where it's the beginning of a franchise and like you?
I really hope so. It'd be cool to have a horror franchise of different things.
Yeah, well, it's just, and it's a different take on everything.
Yeah, and they don't have to stick to any certain lore because this is all made up. This is all a completely new thing.
Yeah.
Did you think the movie was gonna start with like him like on a Krypton or whatever, or did you think it was just gonna start with him crashing down and then like from the parents' point of view, kind of?
I figured he'd ought to be there.
I half expected it to start like in space.
Well,
and
Final Frontier,
or like just to seeing him come in or whatever. But I kind of like that we didn't, because like they could get into that later if we wanted, like who his people are.
Yeah.
What were some scenes you really liked in the movie?
Pretty much all the death scenes.
Yeah, those were all good. I like any scene that the kid was talking to someone. I liked it. Like when he's talking to his therapist / aunt. There's a couple times talking to her that I really liked when he's like telling her, sometimes bad things happen to people for a reason, and she's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then when he shows up to her house and he's like, yeah, you shouldn't go tell the police. It'd be really bad for you. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Like he warned her.
Yeah. And then Badger comes home and he's like, you shouldn't tell my parents. And I was like, hey, Badger, don't tell his parents.
Yeah. Badger's death scene was really cool. I actually liked the way he killed the sheriff.
Oh, and he just like flies him and smashes him into the wall.
Yeah, it was just guts.
I like that too, but for like because it was a cool scene, but also because like they set up the sheriff to figure and like solve everything. Like he sees the clue at the diner, and then he sees the clue from Badger's scene, and he realizes they're connected. I don't know how he realized that was the kid though. I feel like there's a scene missing there where he's seen that before. He said it's a BB, but like that's kind of a stretch.
Well, I think he knows the kid is up to stuff.
Oh, he just had like a hunch?
Yeah.
So, but he goes there, and you kind of assume, like, oh, this guy's going to figure shit out. He's going to, like, solve the case. Well, and then he shows up, like, at least something, and, like, he's going to help him out. He'll be the hero of this movie in a way.
Oh, I never thought that.
Well, like, they were setting him up that way. I didn't know how it was going to go down. I was like, how does this guy stop a Superman?
Yeah.
But then he just gets there and dies instantly. I like that.
If you remember, it was right after his dad tried to shoot him, and the sheriff was walking up there with a shotgun, and I thought, well, what the fuck is that going to do?
Yeah, and then he puts little shards of his body.
Actually, you know what I was thinking when he was walking up is they better get some fucking make-believe kryptonite or something. I don't know what this kid...
I thought that was funny. They had their own kryptonite, his ship, like, because it's from his planet, so it makes sense because kryptonite's just rocks from Krypton.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny, too, even though it failed for them. Like, it doesn't weaken him, like, physically. It just can penetrate his skin, which is different from Superman.
Well, it did cut him. He still had that
cut,
but
I'm saying,
on.
like, it penetrates his skin, but, like, Superman, if he's by kryptonite, he'll be like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, I assume, like, if you stabbed him with it, it would kill him.
Yeah. So do you want to get into what did the world think?
Sure.
I call it what did the world think because I don't have a better name, but it's really what did some guys on Rotten Tomatoes that didn't like the movie think.
That's interesting. I'd like to hear that.
Should I say their names?
I don't give a flying fuck.
Okay, Roger Moore. I think this is where he's from.
Oh, so 007?
I guess. Roger Moore from Movie Nation says that it was dull, inert, humorless, and pointless.
Wow, fuck him.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. It wasn't
dull.
Just watch that Badger scene, and it's not. Badger, he's the uncle. If you don't watch Breaking Bad, when he's like,
shame on you.
It wasn't dull at all. I feel like some people like him are gonna like nitpick at the movie because it's still kind of a superhero thing or horror. Like superhero movies get bad reviews usually, and horror movies get bad reviews. So like this is like
superhero movies are kind of making a little turn.
Yeah, but if there's anything weird about the movie, they usually nitpick at it. Frank Switek?
You really don't have to read the names.
I don't know how to. He doesn't even have a picture, so I can't even. I don't know. A horror movie that sadly doesn't do much with its adolescent supervillain from space premise. I don't think that's true either. I think they did. They got me pretty interested in his lore and everything too, because he's like talking to the thing. Like it seems like there's like people maybe above sending signals down to try to like awake him in a way. You know?
Yeah, I didn't know.
And I think they did quite. They did exactly what I expected them to do, which is evil Superman.
Yeah, it was just a kid with powers that had maybe a little anger issue.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is the last one. Lindsay Barr, I believe that's how you say. I'm sorry for saying your name's wrong. Not like you're watching this. Brightburn was a good idea. Unfortunately, the creativity stopped there. What do you think?
See, it's so easy to type something like that out.
Yeah.
And just be a hater.
I just don't see how you can leave this movie, especially the ending. They set up a evil Justice League like spin-off type thing, and you're like, "Well, that movie was uncreative."
Yeah, it was
Like no one's thought of this before.
It was very unique, and I thought it was cool. Is it the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life? No, but it was really good.
It was really cool, yeah.
And it's one of the most unique movies I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Any last things you want to say before we have to get the fuck out of here and go see Aladdin?
Yeah, stay tuned and we'll...
Yeah, hopefully later today, depending on how long it takes me to edit this and we go see Aladdin and all that stuff, should be this and Aladdin the same day. If not, come back tomorrow and we'll have Aladdin out.
And what are your expectations for Aladdin?
Pretty low.
Me too, so that'll be interesting.
I haven't seen how long has it been since you've seen the original Aladdin?
It's been quite a while.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. And every time it's
a cartoon.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I think of you for Aladdin a lot. Which, because I feel like all growing up, you would always sing Aladdin. Anytime we were going to watch, like, a Disney movie or whatever, you'd be like, oh, let's watch Aladdin. Like, when we were kids, and you'd watch a movie with us. So, like, when they announced this movie, I figured you'd be hyped for it.
Well, Robin Williams isn't it?
And, yeah. I wish they could just did Robin Williams. I know they have extra shit for him. But I'm hoping I enjoy Will Smith in it.
Yeah, I'm going in open-minded, but I don't have very high expectations.
Yeah, so if you want to hear what we thought about Aladdin, come back later today or tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of Brightburn, and we'll see you guys next time. Brightburn, the evil Superman.